Hello, and welcome back to the A Show, the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcasts. I am Justin, here with the immeasurable, the
Mm.
impeccable, the
Mm-hmm.
greatest of all time, Meelz.
There we go. What an intro. Thank you for that. Um, Needed that a lot. Um, Listen, this week, of course, by the time the public hears this, Patreon patrons will have heard this before, hopefully. Or if not, you could also listen to Patreon at any time. You can listen to anything on Patreon anytime because apparently invasions are all the rage again. So Invasion Diaries are definitely on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
So you can listen to that. But this week begins the 4K plus one run, the A Show 4K plus one run. I have been, While I have known about this longer than everybody else because I'm the one planning it. Um, I have been training for this for like the last like 2 months. Sir, my ankle is so ready
Oh,
for this to be over.
my front of my leg hurts. All of my right foot hurts.
Yeah.
Uh, I was supposed to do my little 1.5 miles today. Couldn't do it. Too busy. So what a great week to run in on that. But from Wednesday onward, I'm gonna be doing it. I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna do it like Saturday or Sunday right now. But do I want to do it?
I'm for sure doing it Saturday, by the way. I'm for
Because the
sure.
thing is I have to do it early and I got a concert later that day.
One thing a good run will do to you is get you a good nap to prepare for said concert. So I
Okay.
support doing it on the same day as this thing because I have taken many great naps after a run. But I'm for sure doing it this Saturday. If you manage to start during the week, I mean, realistically, I could do it anytime I wanted. It's fucking, I'm unemployed. But I think Saturday's a good vibe because a lot of people are running at the same time. I convinced my friend Mitchell to run with me, so he will be running with me. Also, he has a car, which I am hoping he will pick me up and drop me back off. Because public transportation, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know this. Every time I run, so I don't run back to my house. Um, I'll run in the park. I'll run 2 kilometers away from my house, or 3 kilometers away, 4 kilometers away. I'll run that direction away from my house, but the journey never ends back up at my house. So I'm here sweating. I have to cool off, and then I'm there like just taking public transportation or walking back home,
Mhm.
which is the worst. But listen, man, 4K plus one. If you got the t-shirt, shout out to you. If you haven't got it yet, I mean, only one person should not have it yet. Um, and now I'm a little sketchy of it. Bosa, hopefully it comes within this week.
The Bosa is Lemony Snicket in a series of unfortunate events. Like it's always some Lemony Snicket shit
It's
happening.
a you know what it was. I'm actually gonna take a look to see if they actually shipped it. So okay, they did. But they shipped it late. These fucking so I usually go to the post office. I've been going to the post office further away because they're more reputable. But for Bosa's, because I had to do a million things yesterday, I dropped it off at the post office that was closest. But the post office that's closest, I don't know if you've seen, have you experienced in your life like terrible post offices?
Not
Like
really, no.
they're pretty bad in Brooklyn. Like they're very convincingly bad. Like
Don't
there's
get me started
specific
on don't get me started on New York, but yeah, continue.
they're pretty terrible. Like, and it used to be a way more bigger epidemic of them essentially saying they dropped it at your house, leaving the ticket but not the package, and then you have to go pick it up from the UPS. So there's like 50 people on a Saturday morning waiting in line because they got a ticket that something was delivered that was never even delivered. They didn't ring no bell. They didn't do no, like the USPS out here. They as much as thugs as the other fucking cops and
Wow.
FDNY and all the other people. I'm saying
You're
it
a bunch
this
of
week.
crooks.
Yeah, a bunch of crooks, man. All these This is Eric Adams, New York. Luckily, it's about to be over. Um,
It's about to be over for y'all, but like not for the world. I saw that and I was like, that's just one step. We need more dominoes to fall. But he only did it.
Is he taking the other job, or is he just like dropping out?
I feel like he's doing it to make it harder for Mondami. That's why he's doing it to, like, because they're
Mm,
starting to put so much money behind Cuomo,
Cuomo.
and they told him to drop out because the more votes that he gets, it'll take away from Cuomo. So they're trying to run the pincer play on Mondami right now because there's like Walmart and a couple other people are like backing the sex pest over Mondami right now. So I need New York. I
Yeah.
need New York to lock in for sure.
Nah, we gonna turn up because Trump shit. When I looked at the map of New York City and saw how many people voted for Trump, I was just like, all right, man.
They're idiots, bro.
We playing games. We playing fucking games in this. And now look at our country. Look at the state of our country, bro. We're
Ghetto.
never getting this shit back.
Well, if we do it, we'll be old when it
Yeah.
finally happens. All they're doing is they're prolonging the inevitable. They're just prolonging the inevitable. Like, it's gonna happen, but like I would have liked to see, we got some semblance of change at one point, but none for about 20 years. So
No, not at all. Um, we'll see. How have you been, sir? How about that?
I've been good. I'm obviously busy. It's almost spooky season. That's when I come alive. You know what I'm saying?
The first is here. I mean,
Yeah,
it's essentially the first.
it's coming up, and got my 31 days of horror list locked and loaded. Stayed up
I
until
love that.
1 o'clock making that list last night. I've already started, you know, plugging away the movies now.
Mhm.
Got
Are we sharing the list?
I shared it in the Discord,
Okay.
but we can share it on Patreon if people really want to know it. I'll
I
share
think we
the link.
should.
Yeah, I'll share the link so people can go search out the movies that they want to watch. I follow this thing called Hooptober. And it's like it's like it's an easy way to do this list, because remember I used to do this list and I would just pick the movies myself, but this help makes it easy because it gives me some criteria, right? So this is the criteria for Hooptober. So it
Mhm.
has to be 31 horror films from 6 countries other than Italy or the United States, spanning 9 decades. 5 zombie films, 3 cult or conspiracy horror films, 1 film from a black director with a black lead, 1 film from a Mexican or Central American director, 1 Canadian film, 1 former Soviet state film, the most popular film from the 1940s that you haven't seen and can access, 2 post-apocalyptic horror films, 1 film with dreams or a dream as part of the plot, 1 The Animals Are Pissed at Us film, 1 silent film, 4 of them that are based on novels, any film from a list that was linked in the post, from this list that you haven't seen, 1 Ernesto Gastaldi written film, 1 film from 1932, and you have to watch Wizard of Oz, and of course Toby Hooper film. Toby Hooper is that's where the name Hooptober comes from. He's the guy who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Mhm.
So you always have to watch one of his films every year. And for people who like to do extra work, you can watch Burn Witch Burn, Chainsaw Massacre, and Trick or Treat from 1986. So I substituted a lot of, and again, a lot of these movies can cross over and they can overlap into each other. So like obviously 9 decades can be any of these movies, 6 countries can be any of these movies. The zombie films can be, they overlap. So if that counts, you can count it. You can add another movie there. So I swapped out a couple of these movies because I hate silent films and shit with the 3 that he put at the bottom for those who like to do extra work, and you have to review them all.
Whew.
So I'm actually re-reviewing movies
Yeah.
on the list that I've seen before.
Oh, sorry. My mom's calling. Let me put my shit on silent. Sorry, mom. She understands.
Yeah, we're talking about Hooptober here.
There
But
we go.
yeah, that's the rule that I came to, and yeah, I'll be doing that this month.
Good for you, man. Can we do that? I want to like. I'm lethargic to say this. There's a version of this for wrestling. I'm sure that can be like created
Yeah, but
because
like
when you
I don't want the uppity people to be like, well, you can't watch this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, so I'm thinking like match from the 80s, match from the 90s, match from 2000s, match from New Japan, match from a European thing, match from there, a match with a
no,
someone winning a championship.
a match with a black wrestler and a black referee and a black commentator.
There we go.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that narrows it down. But yeah.
Well, I've narrowed it down to a decade, maybe, but like, well, actually, no,
Yeah.
there might be a old ECW, uh, ECW 2009 or 2006 match that you could find.
Absolutely. So I feel like there's a version of this for wrestling that would be good, but the problem is now that the library is pretty much scattered across the fucking internet at this
Yeah,
point.
it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's hard to be able to do that. Like I was about to cancel Peacock this week until Peacock said, "No, nigga, don't leave." Um
Please, I know we took up WWE. Please don't leave us.
yeah, so and then I was like, "Oh, 2.99 cuz I did it. I was like, "All right, NXT, I got it." Like whatever. And we're going to talk about NXT today. I would actually like to do a fun exercise with the NXT show.
Oh, wow.
Um but I was going to cancel it. So I'm saying this for people who potentially want less. I don't know how long this is going to last. So say this as I comes from my voice. I tried to cancel Peacock yesterday. They offered me to stay for 2.99 a month for the next 6 months. I said deal because I was really going to leave. I was going to leave and come back for traders. Essentially that was going to happen for the rest of the year. I was going to leave, come back for traders. I already kind of got a way that I can watch NXT that's not on Peacock. Um So I was gonna leave and come back for traders, but 2.99, I do that. That's like the Hulu special. Hulu will get me that way too. Um, so I recommend anyone from the sound of my voice hearing this, go at least on a desktop computer and see if you can cancel Peacock, and they might give you an offer to stay for the next 6 months for a couple more things. And you can view NBA again. I was even NBA, right? NBA starts on Peacock later this month for whatever fucking reason. Um, and I was gonna leave, but then I'm coming back. And then now I see that the W. So I've been getting into the W now,
Yeah.
WNBA,
WNBA, yeah.
and they just struck a deal. They'll be airing 50 games on USA Network starting next season. So
We need WNBA young boy.
I don't want to know what that looks like. The W's been fun. I'm a fan. Believe it or not, I'm a fan. I'm not into the whole storyline with all the relationships and stuff, but
There's a
I'm a
storyline?
fan of. I mean, there's a lot of girls who dated girls who are now dating other girls who got kids with other girls who no, it's it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Lesbians, but um,
You said it, not me.
but it's been these playoffs have been really, really good. So I've been thoroughly enjoying watching all these games. Um, I don't want to say we got a lot to talk about because we actually don't, but I think we can talk about it in a way where we can kill an hour before we go to Patreon.
Okay.
Um, so we got a couple things to talk about this week. I mean, did we break AJ Styles John Cena on the Patreon last week, or was
Yes,
that
we did. It was we broke it on the Patreon right before we got off the right before we ended last week.
right? So AJ Styles, John Cena, officially booked for Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel looking like a card. I
It's looking
mean,
like a bigger deal and also getting like a strangely like big time push, like bigger than WrestlePalooza, which we talked about last week. WrestlePalooza was kind of thrown together in like 3 weeks,
yeah,
but like this actually is getting some time.
yeah. No, there there are matches that are getting like time that are in just real big matches, just in general. Champion versus champion, John Cena versus AJ Styles, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky versus Kabuki Warriors. That's the card thus far. I'm interested to see what else will be added to the card. Um, because this is already like a stellar card in general. But I want to ask you a question. Do you feel like we're past the days, especially now on ESPN, or maybe we'll come back around to it, of the days of like mid-card feuds kind of like blowing off on PLE cards? Or
I
are
think
they just more so gonna be stuck for the television shows?
I think their television show like worthy. I think that you want to get your big matches on the card. I think a lot of times when people like get upset about the types of cards that are coming out specifically from the WWE is that like they are focused on putting the biggest of the biggest on these cards now. And we're accustomed to having, let's just say, like a piss break match. And the piss break matches now for these pay-per-views are the 5-minute commercials in between all of them. Like that's where you go pee. And I mean, I'm not gonna say every match on these PLEs are anything of any consequence, but it's
Right.
always going to be the people who are getting the most airtime on the shows now, and that just seems to be the way that it is. It's like it's much harder to get on these cards, which makes it much more puts it much more under a microscope when you actually get on there.
No, absolutely. I think, I mean, there was a I've been looking at it for the last number of months because, essentially the same group of people have been getting on these cards per month. And it's not to say that it's bad per se. I mean, they'll have one other match. They'll have like Street Profits versus who's the fucking guys,
White.
White Six, or SummerSlam. I'll count because that was kind of a loaded card. Um, but a couple other matches, and you know, we aren't seeing many. I'm wondering now, like, how much value does it really? I guess it means more value now to be on a PLE card more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I guess Mello hasn't really been on. I mean, Mello's kind of like the one that's usually talked about. Oh, like, let's get
I
Mello
just
on PLE.
well, they better praise dance and make it the biggest PLE ever, bigger than Mania when he gets on there. The way y'all act.
Same thing for there had this discussion online about the women's US titles. Like, it hasn't been defended on a PLE as of yet. Granted,
I
it's
barely
still
remember what
relatively,
that title be looking like, and
bro.
I think they need to do better with that. To be honest
I
with
agree. I
you, yeah.
agree. I think they just need to do better overall with the stuff that being featured on the show, especially championships. But
I mean,
you know,
Raw don't got that problem. I'm just throwing my hands up there. Raw don't got that problem.
well, a champion is someone who's going to be featured on major cards. So I really think it's in the beholder. It depends who's holding that title. I think if Charlotte holds a US title, it's more frequently on PLEs than if Giulia holds it, because that's why Giulia hasn't really been established as of yet on the card to the level of like her, I guess.
I think she will be, but would it be crazy if I said that I feel as though if she didn't have that title, she would probably be on the show more and probably be on more PLEs if she did not have that title right now?
I don't think it's crazy.
Because I think that Julia having it is actually like it puts her in a tier. And I mean I wanted to wait for Patreon to say this, but like it puts her in a tier, like
Mm,
where it's like, oh well, she's with blah, she's got Chelsea Green's belt. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
she has a Linda Vegas belt. Like obviously, you could go back and listen to episodes. Like we were excited for her to get the title because we thought that that singular push that she was getting without it was going to translate to her with it, and it does, and it didn't. In fact, I feel like she was probably booked and showcased a lot better when
She
she
was
didn't
be-
have it.
she was better on Raw
Yeah, like
at this point, and she was on Raw for like 3 weeks.
yeah,
You know what
like
I'm
she
saying?
looked way better on there than she did here. And I mean, take Kiana with her. I think that they just have a hotter act without that title.
Yeah, I think just in general, they've done a big disservice to that championship just in general. And we are talking about it in the Discord, and a lot of people are just like, kind of like, look at the names that have hovered around that championship. They aren't really like major star names, and they aren't really like great, amazing workers. Now, I think Giulia kind of like bucks that trend a little bit, but she still just hasn't been established. Um, I think I wouldn't say she was called up too soon, but
No.
from H standards, like, I don't think she had the chance yet to get fully grounded into the WWE system before she was called up.
But I don't think it's over for her. I think
No, it's not.
they still do see her. I think she, like strangely in SmackDown, there's like a group of untouchables who are just always gonna win and always are never made to look stupid. Never like Cody, Charlotte, Alexa. I think Julie is one of them. Like she don't ever lose. She's never made to look stupid. I feel like she's
Yeah.
definitely like somebody who's just like, hey, do whatever the fuck you want. But if I see her lose to somebody she shouldn't lose to, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Like she's somebody that they explicitly told to leave alone. But we kind of saw where Julia was gonna go in NXT. Just to be real with you, like as soon as Stephanie came in, it was like Andy throwing Woody down. I don't want to play with you anymore. Like the crowd kind of chose who they wanted to go for it. It's the same thing as when Finn and Hideo Itami both debuted, and people gravitated towards Finn. because he just looked cooler. Not to say Giulia doesn't look cool, but like Stephanie Vaquera is just a one of a kind like talent. You know what I mean? She just has that look,
But
and
then
I think it's
but
gonna
then
take a little while.
you're also surrounding her with people who aren't really even that cool. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no,
Like
for
when you
sure.
look at Stephanie Vaquer in the last number of months, she's been in the orbit of Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Nikki Bella, um, a few other women on Raw, Roxanne, et cetera, et cetera. SmackDown just the mid card women's division. And it's been like this for a couple of years. There's a massive drop off between the star women on SmackDown and the mid card women on SmackDown, and it's going to be it's long overdue for a shift, and they have plenty of the talent to help support that mid card women's division on SmackDown if they choose to so. But that's not what I want to talk about. Actually, first bit of news this week. I'll talk about it at a couple of I wouldn't say even releases. Contract talk. Jazmyn Nyx. Oh gosh, our North Star,
Next,
Jazmyn Nyx.
the second coming of Charlotte Flair, Bull Nakano, and, and Medusa all in one. The way that they're
So
being treated.
it was revealed in quite honestly the most funny way ever. We were watching NXT this week, and it was shown on the week that someone had attacked Jazmyn Nyx. To which, this might be Jazmyn Nyx on her way.
That's who is vindictive right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. To which JC Jane, who was in a group of Jazmyn Nyx called Fatal Influence, looked down at Jazmyn Nyx, who had just gotten beat up, and essentially said, "Well, she was dead weight anyway. Let's go." And that was the end of Jazmyn Nyx's run on NXT. We then learned, probably around 24 hours later, that her contract was not going to be renewed. She then came out on social media and essentially said that WWE offered her a contract. She didn't necessarily, like the numbers for it. So she chose, I guess, not to proceed any further with WWE. Um, as things do on the internet, cause a bit of I guess a conversation. I won't even say an uproar because it's still Jazmyn Nyx. Uproar depending on which corner of the wrestling internet you are. If you are the one with like Jazmyn Nyx Avies,
That
maybe.
one, if you got the Liv Morgan Avi, uh, if your Avi just not you,
Yeah.
like you got a problem with it.
This probably affected you in some sort of way, but essentially people saying like, I can't believe WWE making all this money hand over fist, charging us $30 for PLEs, and they can't afford to pay these women the value that they're supposed to be paid. To which I asked the question is like, so what exactly was? I don't like to. I mean, I don't like to do it, but also it's like kind of like value. What exactly was Jazmyn Nyx value to WWE? Is really the answer to this question. Um, Jazmyn Nyx has a different answer than probably what WWE has. And I think Jazmyn Nyx I low key, her argument was kind of like valid in a sense to me, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
you're bumping, you're working 2 and 3 times a week, like, she's used to a certain amount of money, and I think that,
yeah.
like, anyone could I've done it, everyone's done it. I think I said something about it, and I was just like, "Hey, like, you guys are finally learning what capitalism is," and somebody was just like, "How could you say that? She did da, 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 da." I'm like, "Bro, I never said that. I never didn't I what is wrong with you niggas?" Like, I never said I didn't fuck with what she said. I didn't say I didn't like what she said or I didn't like her. Like, she left, good for her. This doesn't need to be anything more than that. It's like, do we have these conversations at the for on the NBA, right? When somebody leaves or someone doesn't renew their contract because of money shit, right? It's never really like a big conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's
It's
mostly like they're
it depends who it is and what value they provided to the organization. Because
of course. So
it definitely does happen.
well, like if it's Becky Lynch, I'm more upset than I am about Jazmyn Nyx.
Right, right, of course.
Like
If
like
it's
Jazmyn Nyx is like who's like on off the bench on the Knicks that you just could live without. You're probably gonna say everybody. So who's another team that like
No, 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 no. I mean, there was one, actually the bench last season. There was an entire bench I could live without. Um, I'll say this: there's this current thing going on with this player called Quentin Grimes, who is on the Knicks, and he actually played for Philadelphia right now. And they're going back and forth at numbers because he feels like he's valued at about $25 million a year. The Philadelphia 76ers value him at about like $13 million a year. So he's not signing with them because he's like, I should be higher. You punted the end of last season. I was putting up 20 plus a game. I was doing all these kind of things, and you still won't offer me that. And it was like, and he's like, yeah, but Philadelphia Sixers like, yeah, but like you're not you're not that nigga. Like we have Joel Embiid, we have Tyrese Maxey, we have Kelly Oubre, we have people who are more seasoned, more proven, more everything than you. Why should we offer you $25 million a year? And it's kind of a similar situation to the Jazmyn Nyx thing. The only reason I agreed with her is because when you look at it, like she was featured on NXT on a weekly basis. She was in those 6-woman
She
tags
was the one
almost
taking
on
the
a
pins.
weekly.
She was the one
Yeah,
taking the pins.
absolutely, but featured on a weekly basis. She was in TNA when they called her to go to TNA. She was doing everything that she could to be able to be in a position that she felt like. And I think when it came to contract renewal, I don't know how much of a bump up higher that she was getting, but clearly it wasn't enough. And you and I have both been in situations where we're like, I'm not getting paid enough,
Yeah,
like
but they
just in
look at her
general.
they look at her as like, "Oh, that's the one that's taking the bumps." You know what I mean?
Right.
That's generally what I feel as though they looked at her like she's the one that's taking the bumps. And she's the one that's gonna take all of the bumps for her team and everything like that. Like, I genuinely feel like that's probably what they looked at it like. And with that, they said, "Oh, well, let's give her a little bit more." Because like that's not to say like people are acting like she was like making a lot of strides in the ring. Because I didn't necessarily see that either.
No, not at all. And that's kind of where WWE sees, all right, what's the value of it? Like, let's look at those little like report card thingies and see kind of the evaluation. She was good enough to be on the show, which is a definitely a certain threshold that you have to bypass to just even get on NXT TV. You know what I'm saying? Especially being featured on a weekly basis, considering how much talent and athletes that they have down there. There's still a number of women who aren't featured on the show
Mhm.
on a weekly basis that she is. So that's a one hurdle that you have to cross. But it's like really like, okay, do I see something similar of where we are going to pretty much plot a version of the company around you? Or is there some sort of value that you can have? Probably not. I don't know
Mhm.
what Jazmyn Nyx's future in WWE would have been. You know what I'm saying? Um, by all indications, there's by her in ring work and character work, it wasn't going to be that good. Uh, she couldn't really cut a promo. You know what I'm saying? She didn't really have much singles matches on her own to really prove herself.
And generally and that too, but generally, like, they've said it already, it's you get 2 or 3 years and you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get 2 or 3 years, and if we don't see it, then you out. And I think that, like, who's to say what would have happened or what could have happened, but for her livelihood, she left, and that is okay. There doesn't need to be no more of a conversation about this. What more do you have to say? She wasn't even, like, mid-card. She was a lackey. In the larger sense of
She
everything, she was a lackey.
and she was definitely about to get placed by Laney Reed, who was by
Yeah.
far probably a full upgrade over Jasmine Nix if there's someone that you kind of want in the ring to be there.
She's so much of an
Um,
upgrade that I don't even feel as though she even belongs in there because she just needs to be on her own.
yeah, essentially. Like she's good enough, you know what I'm saying? Um, so it'll be interesting to see kind of like where she lands. Again, I've said season 42 of the challenge is probably airing next year. Um, her agent should have at least have some DMs open, you know what I'm saying? Something along those lines. Because I think she's athletic enough. I don't know if she's going back to soccer. I think with 4 knee surgeries, I don't know if there's a team that would take you back.
Yeah.
Like four knee surgeries is kind of nuts. Um, and it probably stunted her growth. I don't even know when did she sign to WWE?
Like 21, 22.
2022. So yeah, she's been there for the past like 3 years or so.
It was time. And then you have Idris and Nofe. Bye,
Idris
y'all.
Enofe.
See ya.
Yeah, see ya. Yeah, you wasn't really on. Once they put you on Evolve,
Brian's on the wall.
yeah.
I need to see
I
someone.
wouldn't resign. I wouldn't resign if they put me on Evolve.
I need to see somebody come up from Evolve. Nikita, she trying, but she belly flopping.
I don't think there's they put Wesley on Evolve. We haven't really seen Wesley since in a major. He's been featured. He's been like backstage, getting like hoed by Javon or something.
I
But
thought that
like,
honestly, the thing is that just like the level of improvement and growth has kind of outgrowed a lot of the people. Like I looked at Wesley as kind of like their new Johnny Gargano, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
there's
because
certain
he
elements,
felt very black and gold coated. To be
yeah.
honest with you,
But like he debuted during Black and Gold, but like um just in general, like after the face turn or after the heel turn, he's been rudderless, and I don't know if he could get that sauce back that he had when he was a babyface again. But it's like, well, what are you gonna do? Like, if I was them, I'd be like, Wesley, would you want to work in AAA? Because he can make it work.
yeah.
He can make it work. He's more seasoned than all of them there. Or sign his tag team partner, put him back together. Like I don't know why they've waited to do that, but then you see what they're trying to do to Fraxium on fucking SmackDown. But I also feel like fuck it, try something. Try something
I
with the
don't
nigga.
think. I don't even think he's gonna. Well, you know what? Let's go to NXT No Mercy
Uh-huh.
and let's pull up this exercise. I want to give everybody on the card a grade.
Oh boy.
Um,
Why you doing
essentially,
this? Why you doing this?
of because everyone card a grade of how their at least NXT experience has been thus far. It's a great exercise. Um, NXT No Mercy was this weekend. It was a kind of like if you knew, you knew kind of PLE. If you knew it was on, you were there. If you enjoy NXT, you wanted to see what happened. But it was very much on a Saturday night. Uh, Show kicks off Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs. Javon Evans wins. Had a big match on SmackDown the night prior. We'll talk about that on Patreon. Um, Big match on SmackDown. Coming off the heels of that, it's a big win over Josh Briggs. If you had to rate Javon Evans' NXT run thus far, letter grade from F to A, what
B
grade would you
plus.
give him?
B plus. I can't give
I
him A
would
yet.
say that.
I
Yeah.
can't give him A yet. He's not there yet. But if there's anyone that I can see having an A the next time we do this, it's him. He's people are like, he's ready, man. I'm like, he's not ready. But he's ready to be at the top of NXT. And
He's I
I'm
think
trying to see.
I think I think when he is called up eventually, he's going to be a star. This is someone that you like put time aside. If they're doing this enough where he's been featured on SmackDown at least twice in the last year while still being on NXT,
They see it. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like they see something. Josh Briggs though. He has overachieved in me to me in a way that I never expected. But still, like, see, I don't know. I feel like
I get that. He's B talent, C personality. I think
yeah.
that's what it is. And I think that averages out to about a B. But
I'm
I think that generally like he's just so swaggerless that it kills me. Cause like you know how we
He's
I asked,
scared. He look like he's scared of the heat.
yeah, exactly. Like he want to be a baby face. Like he don't really want to be a bad guy. He want to be a baby face.
Yeah,
He want to be the big guy. Like
niggas be rattling him and shit. Don't let them
yeah,
kids in the PC rattle you, bro. They
punk
just
ass niggas.
kids.
They punk ass niggas, man. I see what these niggas look like, man. But here's the thing, like people, and especially our chat, we rag on him a lot, right? But like, I think that when it comes to in between those rings or in between those ropes, it's undeniable. He's always gonna give you something. He gonna give you some
Absolutely.
fucking. He's had some of the best matches this year and last year
But
in that
where
brand.
but where does that ceiling lie? I mean, to be
I
honest with you,
I truly feel like he could have gone up, but I don't feel like he'll be able to go up without his tag team partner or having a tag team partner
I agree.
because it's gonna
I
take a
agree.
while. They tried to rebrand him with JBL, didn't work. You just can't put lipstick on a pig that way. They don't fit together. Um,
I don't think he
generally,
I just can't see him on the main roster unless he's like someone's like bodyguard.
yeah,
But
for sure
I don't even think they do that anymore though.
they could. That's the thing is that
They
they could if they
they
want.
could, but I don't know if H does that type of stuff anymore. To be honest with you, they don't
You
call people up to be like auxiliary talent as much as Vince McMahon used to do. Vince McMahon used to like find a role for people. I mean, the rumors, Even Adam Cole was supposed to be a manager. You know what I'm saying? LA Knight gets called up as a manager. Um, that type of stuff doesn't happen anymore. So I mean, who knows? We could be looking at another kind of like Wesley situation. That's what I envision for Josh Briggs, unless there's like a different, unless he becomes NXT champion. Um, Next match, WWE Women's Speed Championship. It's officially NXT coded.
Mhm.
Um, Sol Ruka shows up, and we don't know who her opponent is because Lainey Reed is not clear to compete. She had a.
Quote unquote heavy air quotes on that one, by the way.
I feel like she isn't. I feel like if she would have competed if she could have. I don't think she's cleared to compete, and I think they did the little thing later as a kind of like, let's see how long she's gonna actually be out.
We'll see.
Um, nonetheless we get Jada Parker, who is incredibly over, who is still a heel for whatever reason in
I have
NXT.
no clue why she's still a heel.
It is the most baffling thing, but so Ruka shows up. There's some interference by Lash Legend, which eventually leads to Sol Ruka again winning. What is Sol Ruka's grade thus far?
Hey, I would say, but of anybody that's ready to go, it's probably her.
Hmm. I'm gonna give
There's
her
two.
A too.
There's about 4 people on here that I say are RTG, and she's one of the RTGs.
Absolutely.
She
I
don't
think
really
Sol
need
Ruka.
she don't need to know how to talk well, because all she's gonna do is
Yeah,
athletic shit.
yeah. But also she doesn't talk bad. She communicates everything that she needs to communicate. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like she's not bad.
yeah.
But she definitely needs to go. Um, Jada Parker, I
B
would
minus.
give
B minus.
B minus. I'm giving her B plus. What? Wait,
No,
what?
it's
What?
not B plus. The B plus puts her on a Javon Evans level, and I'm talking in ring. I'm talking all of that. Like she's got a lot to improve. Her
Mm,
promos are her strongest suit.
yeah.
Her promos are strong in a way that Javon's promos aren't, but he has everything else. You know what I'm saying? I think she's B minus because and I'm giving them B's. Like B is mostly like more room for improvement.
I
C is
mean,
more
if you on this card, you should be.
exactly. I mean, generally, a lot of the people I'm going to give on this card are a B. So
Yeah, yeah.
let's just put it right there. Like B means like you made it. You're there, but you have improvement. B minus isn't bad. C is like you're stagnant, and it might be time for you to do something or check into Cafe Mexico and get AAA. Um, I think with Jada, I look at her and I'm like, okay, the in ring is getting there. It's almost there, but you can still see her thinking about it in her head. And I think you saw
Mm.
that in this. Like Soul's kind of, you can't see any moment. There was one time where her and Kalani botched their last match real bad, and there was no hesitation there from either woman. They went ahead and did what they had to do. Jada, she you could tell if she botches, she gets frazzled. Like, oh
But I
fuck,
also think, Jada Parker has had bigger matches than Sol Ruka. Believe it or not. Like Sol Ruka has been
she been
kind of
grinding.
like on this level. She's like on this level. She has a certain level of opponents that she faces, but she hasn't really faced anyone like big time where it's like lights on bright. Other than of course the championship matches that she's had with Kalani, but I don't think she's had like been truly tested in a way. Even that, I think even Jada Parker had that match with Roxanne last year. She had a couple more matches. She's been doing a lot more things. So I think they want to get her up to that speed for sure.
She not
Um,
yeah, they do. Like clearly she's a factor for them. I think even them putting her in a little quick 5-minute match like that where
yeah.
the margin of error is so thin for these speed matches. Like you have to hit your time. It shows and she did it, shows that she's getting, she's really good at her craft. I think that just a little bit, just one tiny, and she'll be a B plus. I think the major thing doing is that I want to see how she is as a babyface. I think
Mm.
that's like the major thing there is like she's been a heel for so long. Like let's just go ahead and see what it's like for you to be a babyface right now. So B minus. Soul is a A. She's ready to go.
Jordan Grace defeats Blake Monroe in a weaponized steel cage match.
Good lord,
Um,
match was
I wasn't a major. I honestly wasn't like a major fan of this match. I don't know why. I feel like the weapons distracted from the cage. I feel like having both at the same time is kind of like,
was for the sickos. You're not
yeah,
the sicko.
apparently not. because I feel like the cage match would have been fine or a street fight would have been fine, but having both of them together means you got to focus on all these weapons, and the cage kind of gets put in the background. So it's
Mil,
kind of
Mil,
like,
Mills Alvarez right here.
yeah, listen, I come with critiques. Uh, Jordan Grace, what'd you give her grade thus far since joining NXT at the top of the year?
B minus.
What do you think needs to be improved upon?
Promos. Uh uh Low key the look, the music. I think there's a lot that needs to be done and can be done in the next couple of weeks. I think that like I'm not a big fan of her gear and shit, bro. Like
She is someone I feel like Vince would give a character
Vince would be
because
well, she'd be farting if Vince was there. Like
but I feel like low key, high key, and I said this to myself this morning. Wrestlers sometimes just aren't the real you is sometimes not interesting.
yeah. She just
So
doesn't feel interesting to me. Like you put her next
she's
to Blake
cool, she's
Monroe and
funny, she's
she
she's
feel like
great
she's
in the
funnier.
ring
I feel like she's funnier online than she is in the character, and I wonder why she won't allow like why they won't allow her or she won't ask to be made to be different.
because she's too brolic to be a joke.
I don't know. She need to be
Blake
slapped in
Monroe,
the ass.
Blake Monroe, how do you feel like she's done thus far?
She's
Very
a
small sample size.
she's a B minus too. I think they're both B minuses. They got work
Where
to
do
do.
you
The thing is, they've had the best matches with each other so
Yeah,
far.
yeah, yeah. I think Blake Monroe could improve in the ring just in general.
Yeah, I think, and that's why she's there. And I think she's that you can see like with Giulia, Stephanie, Blake, like the new women that have come there from elsewhere. You could
Mhm.
tell that they're really trying to get focused on getting better at what they do, and focusing on their craft. And that's the same thing that we saw Oscar do. Well, I feel like Oscar was like kind of the full package when they got her. I feel like EO was the one where it was like, okay, we're seeing her put it together in her head. Kyrie she
Well,
put it
Io
together.
was the look. Io was like whatever look she came in with on NXT, just no one gave a fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
So, when she altered the look to be a little bit more edgy, um, things started working a little bit more for her, and you felt like the real her was starting to come out through the difference of the look. And now, believe it or not, she's kinda like merged both worlds because she
Mhm.
really used to dress in like the little leather one piece joint, when she rethinged, and now she's kinda gone back to the original look, but it still has little things of the edginess. But I think, with Blake Monroe, I need to see her interact with more of the roster because one thing about a character is it's so easy for someone like her to become so one note. Um, I need to see different kind of iterations in how she interacts with people and how she does things to really build upon that character. But I give her a B minus too. Yeah, she's she I don't know what her finisher is, but it is what it is.
Isn't her finisher like a
Um,
DDT? It's like a DDT or some shit.
is it all right?
Mhm.
We talk about DDTs. Uh, Ethan Page defeats Tavion Heights for the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page gets an A across the board.
Yeah, he gets an A. He's a GTR.
Yeah, he's been
Alright.
ready to go for quite some months. He has been. If I do it now, I put him in a feud with Damian Priest like tomorrow.
Yeah, Damian Priest. If he's on Raw, LA Knight. Um, It's just he is the mid card we've been looking for, and that's not a bad thing to say. Okay, like
Hmm.
he's the mid card character we've been looking for that can reach kind of a certain level, and we got that with LA Knight, right? He's a mid card guy that like reaches a certain ceiling but can't win the big one. We need that for the heels too. You know what I mean? Like we need both sides of the coin, and I think he would fit way more than fucking a lot of people on that on the main roster, especially on SmackDown, are fitting in right now.
You see more than niggas who were there. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
um, Tavion Heights though,
See,
I might go C
he
minus on this nigga.
he's somebody that should have started and evolved and made his way up. But they didn't have that structure when he got there. But he should have started there.
I'm with that. They need. I don't know why they took him out of the role that he was in.
Yeah. And made him a single.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the thing about being in a role like that is that now you're able to shine in reference to certain other people. So now you look brighter because you're standing next to people, who may not be as bright as you. So now your abilities pop out more. To have him stand on his own and you going up against Ethan Page is a big act to kind of carry. And last month he had a hard thing, and I give him props for last month because him and I mean, except Tamara Mensah's stock, she
She has
is
disappeared. She disappeared since that match.
shit, not on Evolve, not on this, not on the promos, not on the
Yeah.
little things that play between NXT, nothing. Um, she is gone. But Tavion Heights, you can see he has the skill, but I feel like we've seen versions of him before. So what else are you going to bring that character to the next level? And
He
I think you hit it right on the head of like he's giving very Oro Mensa.
Yeah, he's like he's a lackey, and the thing is that like the people kind of chose Miles Bourne over him at the time, right?
I
Like
don't even like Miles Bourne either. Mm.
I'm not a big fan of Miles Bourne, but that's the thing, Mills. The people have chose him. You know what I mean? Like they fuck with him in that building. Um, whether this will work, I mean, he gives me Riddick Moss vibes. If you want to keep it 100, but it could work. Who knows? Like, and Riddick Moss was around main roster for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So like he had an actual career there.
Love the look. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
a look. He's got like Miles Bourne has got a hell of a look. But Tavion, I hate his gear. I hate his theme. I hate the way he wrestles sometimes. Like generally, I'm just not a big fan of what that and again, I'm so tired of NXT creating these shooter archetype characters like Shayna Baszler types and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
not
yeah.
doing anything with them. Because you did that with Gulak, you did that with what's the leader of the no quarter Dempsey. You did it with all these
Dempsey.
people and you don't do anything with them. You know what I'm saying?
They
Like
put him in NXT Underground and then call it a day.
exactly, like you have all these shooter characters and you don't ever want to develop them. Like I'm so tired of the shooter subgenre of characters because those characters never work because they're devoid of that. They are just the tough guy character. And you keep them on NXT. It's like when he gets called up, you're just a shooter and nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the only person that's realistically been able to do the shooter archetype was like maybe Kurt Angle, Benoit. Like they've been able to do that, but they gave them character in between that, and it feels like they're like, oh well, they can do submissions really well. It's like, okay, what else?
Yeah. It's hard for me to see. It becomes very clear. Well, it's hard for me to see a bunch of people getting called up. Just kind of like how the main roster is and how H is kind of like really taking his time. And we've got on him the I'll wait till the truck passes by. But we got on him for this years ago about taking too much time to call people up when it was time for a roster to go through a change. But he wanted to keep niggas. Now he's just keeping folks down there. But we stress it out like Shayna Baszler should have been called up earlier than she was. A number of people should have been called up earlier than they actually were. And their careers have been affected by it. But now I'm even looking at some people, I'm like, I don't even know if they ever get called up, to be honest with you. At this point, it becomes a money thing,
Yeah,
especially with TKO. Next match, JC Jane defeats Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship, of course, by tons of interference. Um,
this is probably like the worst match of the card for me.
I wasn't really paying attention.
I I I don't like JC's reign. I think
Huh.
she cheats too much. She don't beat nobody clean. It's the
I mean,
same
that's the
finish.
point, ain't it?
It's the same finish over and over again with her. It's with her in particular. It's the same finish over and over again. They're gonna interfere. They may or may not through dubious means fucking get thrown out, and then they cheat to win. It's the bet. Like they have booked heel champions better than this, especially with that title where it wasn't just all like they keep saying like the whole thing is they keep saying, "Oh, I'm legit. I'm not the
Well,
most
no,
beautiful champion." It's like,
right. So,
like
so
give
that
her the defining win. The Lola win should have been her defining win where she didn't have to cheat to do it.
I think she'll get to that point eventually, but I think they are doing. Yeah, I guess they're giving her that kind of character of like she's going to cheat to win. She's going to go through the most nefarious means ever. Um,
I don't enjoy watching it. Like it's just
yeah,
I don't enjoy watching
I could see that.
her matches at all. Like she's talented as hell.
What,
I'm
what
gonna
grade?
go ahead
What
and give
grade are
her
you gonna give her?
a B plus. I'm gonna go ahead and give her a B plus. She's talented as hell. I think her and Lola are both B pluses to me in this. This felt a lot less important as the match went on when you started to realize that Lola probably wasn't going to win this.
I'm giving Lola probably a B because she got the look, she got the moves. She cannot act or talk for shit. I mean, it is
You don't always need to know like that much. You don't always need to have all of it. Like a lot of people that will say are A's or B pluses, like Javon don't have all of that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
we would still, if he showed up on the main roster tomorrow, we wouldn't even bat an eye.
right. But I think with Lola, it's just like her interactions with other people are just like very cringeworthy to me.
I need her
And
mega ass daddy
it's
to
not
not
as cringy
do it.
as last year. Remember the last year where she was
She's
like
crying.
emoting and crying?
Yeah.
But it's still like,
She's
girl,
one,
who are you?
she's one that like you've seen her growth for the last 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And she's grown she was good a year ago, which means she's been good for a while.
yeah.
So, you know, they've
You know
used
what
her in AAA.
You know what it is with me is like her confidence has definitely gone up in the ring a lot more. I think the Roxanne match was a turning point. I think
Mhm.
AAA was a boon for her. AAA deal was definitely an advantage for her because it allowed her to go and get that experience that she probably couldn't get week to week on TV. Like she's working with like tougher crowds, she's working with more, tougher opponents, more seasoned opponents too than she is in NXT. And I think a lot of the women there, they should be jealous that she gets that type of look. You know what I mean? Because she's working with 10, 15-year vets. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In AAA right now, and that's gonna make her better. Um, I think she's one of the best women performers on that roster right now, especially in the absence of Vecchia and Giulia and Roxanne and all of them. Like, but when you said Blake, she needs to be getting involved with more people. She needs to be getting involved with Lola. She needs to be getting involved with, or Lola needs to be getting involved with Jordan. All of them people. Like I thought her and Jada from earlier this year was I, but they need to keep going. I'll give her about 8 months before I can say yeah, she's ready to go.
The main event. Surprising main event. Ricky Starks defeats Obafemi for the NXT championship. Thoughts on this match just in general before we hit to the title change?
I liked it. I liked it. I think that I had started feeling that it was inevitable once my agenda stopped agendaing for titles.
It could have been. I mean, they booked it for Invasion next week. It's just not going to happen anymore.
Yeah,
They
like
said rerunning it. They said rerunning back the title for title thing again. This time with no interference. I was like, oh wow, they actually going to do
what is
some shit.
wait, are they I feel like either I'm misreading it or she didn't explain it well.
So my what I was
'Cause
think.
on the wiki, it doesn't say that that is happening. That Trick versus Oba is happening. I thought that she talked about that in reference to the title versus title for the tag team championships, and she said to ensure that whatever happened between Oba and Trick doesn't happen again at another title unification match, that everyone will be barred from ringside.
So wait, they didn't book Trick versus
No,
Oba.
because she would if she were to book that, it would have given away the finish to the main event. It would have given away the finish if she booked that match again. Because
Let me
what
see.
reason would they have to bar everyone from ringside if neither of them had the title anymore? It's the way Ava described it that was confusing.
Hold on, let me take a fucking look. Hold on.
It's not booked.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
All
not
right.
booked.
Yeah, it's not booked. Yeah, it's not there.
Yeah,
Wait. Yeah, yeah, it's not booked. It's not booked. It's not
yeah.
booked.
She was saying that in reference to how that match ended. I was saying that in Discord. I was like, no, like she can't. That's not true because if she did, then why would we be watching the main event? Like there would be no shock or surprise in the main event anymore.
But to be fair, I mean, they've booked this title for title thing while also announcing Bound for Glory um at the same time. So it is. I'm trying to figure out what is buzzing in my damn house. Um, but with that said, what would what grade would you give Ricky Saints? He debuted in NXT in February.
B plus. Or no, B minus. B minus. He's got some improvement to do. He's good on the mic. I think that it's the same issue I had with him in AEW. It's like I don't see anything particularly impressive in the ring yet.
Mm.
Um, I got to see something more. But and again, to be fair, it's like he's got to also like start wrestling more people than Ethan Page, the two big niggas that he's been wrestling since he got there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm giving him just a B plus just because I think he's above average than most people there. And I think just in general, while clearly his move set is not impressive,
no,
I think he manages to engage folks within this match just in general. So I think he does that. Over Femi, I would give it A.
he's ready to go.
A.
He's the last ready to go on this card.
Yeah, yeah. Obafemi has been someone who rose to the occasion in a major way and probably deserves all that praise and more. People are already trying to book his call up. It is not time yet
It's not time.
because I don't think with this current season with what they got going on that they got room for him to have an actual program. Because the last thing you want to do is him get called up and then all y'all niggas complaining.
I mean, look at the main roster right now. We're gonna talk about Roman this week. We're gonna talk about Cody this week. We're talking about Seth this week. Like Punk's not even back yet. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
there's so many people that are like taking up a lot of airtime on that show, and also they don't really book the men to get called up the same way they do the women. Like Stephanie and Roxanne and Giulia were undeniable. They had to go. You know what I'm saying? Like the other women were not gonna grow with them there in the way that they needed to grow because it would have just been them holding the titles all the time.
right, right.
But with Oba, in the way that they do this, and we've seen this before, that's why I was wondering why people were booking him to immediately go to SmackDown or Raw this week. They always have you lose a lot on the way out, or lose quite more than Oba has lost in the past year on the way out. Um, there's still the Survivor Series match that you already know he's going to be in, and at Invasion. There's Deadline, which you already know he's going to be in that. I think he owes jobs to Javon Evans. He owes jobs to maybe Trick Williams for sure. And maybe one more few before he goes on. Maybe he gets into the Dusty because that's usually how they write a lot of the guys off anyway. They'll put him in the Dusty and they're gone after that. Um,
Yeah,
so like tag team could happen too. He's got to start having fun. I think now because we never really like had him do anything like have an unlikely tag team partner. Like he's got to have his senior storylines. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
Braun had
right.
his
Well,
senior storyline.
you got to team up with a Baron Corbin. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
He's got to have his
Gotta,
senior storyline.
gotta do some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Beat up
Yeah.
Fraxium.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not time for him yet. And the thing is, like, you would not want him to leave NXT yet because he provides so much to that show.
yeah, yeah.
He's such a he's a joy to have on the show, and I think that you just don't want that to go away yet. You gotta give it some time.
Um, Overall, very exciting. PLE,
I'm excited.
honestly.
And listen, I'm excited for NXT in general. I think that a lot of the complaints that I've had over the past couple of months, they're largely attempting to at least rectify it. Like it's not perfect. It never is, but we're starting to see this new class come up, and they're doing it in I feel like very organic ways thus far.
Way to call the invasion, by the way, months ago.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I called it. I knew it's like it's almost like we watched this for 20 years. You know, it's almost like we've
uh,
seen this type of thing before.
I want to give one more thing to the free people before we head over to Patreon.
All right,
Would you rather talk the finish to SmackDown or the Cody and Seth moment on Monday Night Raw?
let's talk the finish to SmackDown
Okay.
because I think there's a theory that I got for Seth that I want the Patreon folks to hear first.
Okay.
'Cause I've been sitting on this thought that I've had. The
$5.
the
Run
finish
some miles.
$5. The finish to SmackDown. I guess we just who done it. I guess we could who done it, right? Like
But
who's
before you do
who's
that, how did you feel about the matches in general? Because I'll be honest with you, I felt like Naya didn't give as much as she usually does. She didn't seem clocked in for this match as she seemed in other
she was
times, in my
walking into
opinion.
the arena eating shit. And I was just like,
Yeah,
this is so nasty to be watching her eat while she's I'm like, no one
but
ever
also
eats.
yeah, but also it felt like a version of like bro, we're really doing this again? Like, come on. Like, she seemed over it from the jump. So to me, it's like I don't blame Naya for the ending, but I'm just saying I wasn't really into this match for that reason. Off rip because I could feel with Naya's body language. Second also thing, Tiffany, why do you keep wearing the same colors as niggas you fighting?
I
Stop doing
hated
that.
it. I was like, "Can you please stop doing that?" I thought you stopped doing that with Charlotte. Stop wearing the
Yeah.
same colors. Like that if she comes out wearing black against Stephanie, I'm gonna be like, "All right, this is on purpose at this point."
If she comes out dressed in Jamaican colors like Jade, I'm gonna have some
I'm like,
questions. But
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. She might be cooking. Hold on, I don't know.
I thought
Remember
this
the picture
match
of
would,
remember the picture of Adele at
of
Carnival?
course,
What if Tiffany comes out like that?
with Bantu knots. Why not? Why not?
Boy, they will eat her alive on the IWC's woke internet. Um,
I don't think this is. I thought this match was not as good as Tiffany versus Jade. Not as good as Tiffany versus Naya. Not as good as Jade versus Naya. I just thought this match was okay, but I feel like you know there's some good stuff in it, but the ending just made sure that like whatever I thought no longer mattered.
it didn't matter. It's infamous now. It's like it equally brought out two different subsets of people. It brought out the AEW people who are always like, see, they botched too. You know what I'm saying? Like they brought out them niggas. You know, they're always the loudest. It's 10 people watching a show and they the loudest niggas talking about,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
they botched. And then it brings out a subset of people that love to put blame on whoever is not in their stand group at the time. So if it's not Nia, it's Nia's fault. If it's not Tiffany, it's Tiffany's fault. If it's not Jade, it's Jade's fault. Because then it becomes, wow, they really fumbled Jade. Literally the next day, it was like they fucking fumbled Jade. I can't believe it. And I'm just like, guys, she's queen of the ring. She had a solo match on Mania, a solo women's match, which was in very short order meals this year for Mania of having solo singles women's matches.
I
Um,
mean, there's not a lot of women who's had matches on Mania and SummerSlam just in general.
period. Period. Yeah.
The key few: Charlotte, Becky, Jade, Naomi.
And
Again, you see what kind
Natalia,
of class that she's in. Yeah,
can't forget about Natalia.
yeah.
Listen, the finish basically ended where uh basically Jade rolled up Nia for a pin. Tiffany kicked
After,
Jade,
first of all, after getting completely, uh,
blasted.
yeah,
Ring steps.
she didn't put her. Well, I don't know. Maybe so. There's a number of ways you can go about it. I don't blame Jade or Nia. It just felt like a freak thing that happened because it did feel like she put her hands up. It also felt like she still hit the wrong. She still hit the edge of the steps
Mhm.
by accident. So I don't blame anyone for this. But goddamn, she got a hole in her head. But whatever.
You saw the white meat that everyone talks about. The white meat that your mama talks about, you saw it on
Yeah.
Jade's forehead. Um, so she kicks Jade out the ring, and then Tiffany pins Nia because that was supposed to be the finish. Was that Tiffany steals the pin, and that leads to, of course, Jade not being pinned, but that gives you the opening to do Nia or do Jade and Tiffany, which is what they're probably going to do. They're going to do Jade and
Mhm.
Tiffany. Just get ready. They're doing it one more time. Um, and Nia didn't kick out, but the ref should have just counted the three.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
because they normally would do that
I
anyway.
blame her bigly.
Yeah, like she should have just counted the three. I know you know what the finish is, but you're always supposed to be uh, acting like this is a shoot. You know what I mean? Like if she doesn't put her thing, so everyone's confused. I think at one point she tells Tiffany, "Just do your finisher," and everyone's like, "Well, why did Tiffany still do her finisher?" It's like because if Tiffany just fucking pins her again, it looks dumb. So she has to actually beat Nia because it makes her look weak, and it makes Jay look weak if Nia just like kind of lays down, right? Um, it just looked bad, and it ended SmackDown, and I was like, "Who fucking this shit?" And it looked, and Tiffany looked pissed, and Jay was leaking,
It
and
just it does a bad disservice to all three women just because it's like Tiffany already. I mean, people aren't really happy with the direction of women on SmackDown, and she's at the head of it. Jade, people have been questioning Jade's ability for so long, and Nia, people just hate Nia. So none of this did any favors to those who were involved, especially this kind of like being the build up to Crown Jewel at the end of
And
the day.
and to be fair,
Um,
Nia makes it hard for to defend her when we do defend her because she does stuff like this.
I mean, yeah, but I think I don't know.
It ended the way I thought it would end. It got Nia officially out of the contention. I'm saying this again, and I'm
Where do
gonna.
we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here?
Well, I knew that it was going to be. I knew it was going to be Tiffany and Stephanie because it's undefeated versus undefeated. Um, so I don't think Stephanie's been pinned on the main roster, and Tiffany has been pinned on the main roster all year. So it's undefeated versus undefeated. That's the biggest match you could have, and I actually do think this is a huge match for the show. Um, I think Tiffany will lose to Stephanie, and then I think Tiffany will lose to Jade. I think they're going to give Jade the title.
Do you feel like Jade turns at any point during this?
Yes,
I agree.
I think she will
Um,
turn. I don't think she will turn after she wins the title. I think she will turn somewhat sometime afterwards. Yes, because I think you want me to go pie in the sky long term booking here. I think it'll be Jade versus Bianca for the title at Mania next year.
and that's why they've been holding off on Bianca.
Yes, and that's why they've been holding off on Bianca. And I think that if she doesn't win the Rumble, because if Liv ain't ready, I think Bianca will win the Rumble. But I think if not, Bianca will win the Elimination Chamber again. But
Might as
I
well have
think
her win the goddamn Rumble at this point.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know. But I think it'll be Jade and Bianca or some form of that. I think that's what they want to do.
I agree. But it was an
But
interesting ending to SmackDown.
it really was. It was, and I feel bad for Jade because you could tell she was working hard.
Yeah.
And Tiffany
I
always works
mean,
hard.
there was this discussion. So I was watching Black Wrestling because they were having this discussion on Jade, and one half of the kind of contingent was like, "We're over Jade. She has not improved. She has not thing."
Damn.
I know other contingent was like, "Yo, she actually has improved." I'm of the notion of like Jade has actually improved quite a bit.
I don't think you guys remember those AEW matches. I need
Yeah,
people to go back and watch them.
I
Um,
think people and it was harsh because they were like, "Yo, but she's been training." You know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't she training with Daniel Bryan? I was like, Daniel Bryan was probably barely training with
he was
her,
probably
and
eating a granola bar, telling her about conspiracy theories.
yeah, I think people don't realize how hard the learning curve is when you're on TV and learning to wrestle at the same time compared to the year, 6 months, 8 months you get in NXT just going to drills every day and then getting in the ring and then learning as you go without the spotlight on you. NXT, you could be shit, you could be the shits in the ring, but you're supposed to get better. It's
Yeah,
developmental at the end of the
yeah,
day. But Jade has been on TV since day one. Her first match ever is on TV, teaming up with, I think it was Shaquille O'Neal.
yeah.
Um, so her first match ever is on TV. Every step of progress she's gone. When I look at people who've also learned to wrestle on TV, you kind of look at Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus is kind of like the benchmark of it. Trish Stratus learned to wrestle while she was on TV while being a valet. She had a couple years before, but she's really like learning how to wrestle on TV. Trish didn't get good until she was gone.
Yeah.
Trish didn't really get good until like 2006. Trish was passable. Trish was fine. Trish was of the era, but she wasn't really good until the end.
And you could argue that a
Um,
lot of her height, she wasn't good. It was just that she had a great personality. She was a great character.
yeah. And I think that's kind of similar with Jade. I'm like, when you look at Jade, Jade's been wrestling since 2020, which was a hard year to break into business, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
But she's been wrestling since 2020 on TV consistently for the last 5 years. She's good, in my opinion. Like, she's solid. She's not
And she's
great.
solid. She's better than she was last year even.
Yeah.
And I was when she was next to Bianca the whole year. I think that people are more harsh on her than they are on Mello, who I think has several things he needs to get ready at, and people think he's a complete package right now, and he's not. Like people are harsher on her than they are on him.
Yeah.
Maybe it says a lot about because she's a woman. I don't know, but like I think she's doing well. I think she's doing very well. I think that they're probably happy with her growth. and she's gonna get another chance to test it. I thought her Queen of the Ring match was alright with Asuka. I thought that she handled herself well. I don't. I You think that match was terrible? I don't think it was terrible.
I don't think it was terrible. I don't think she's had a terrible, terrible match. I mean,
Yeah. And also, this
but
wasn't her fault. I don't even know how this triple threat had people thinking that that they're over her, because whatever happened in the end wasn't her fault. She did what she was supposed to do. When she launched herself out the ring, I say, "Yep, she loves it." 'Cause I was because Tiffany gave her like the little drop kick out the ring, and she sold her ass off.
yeah, it's just I'm like, I think people are being a little bit too hard on Jay. Jay doesn't book herself. Jay doesn't do anything. Jay just kind of comes in and wrestles, and she's been wrestling better each time that she gets in the ring. So, props to Jay. From where she was a year ago, she signed like pretty much a year ago, a couple weeks ago, to
Yeah,
now she's improved remarkably.
she's Queen of the Ring. Come on,
Or
man.
was
You
it
need
two
to do
years
that.
ago? I guess it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, because last year she was tag team champions.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Ready to go to Patreon?
Yeah, let's go to Patreon. Thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of the A Show. We'll be back next week with more foolishness and things to talk about. I think next week, will we be predicting Crown Jewel? Yes, we will. It's a prediction show next week.
Hey man, let us know how your 5K is going. Please take pictures, by the way. Take
Yeah,
pictures,
picture.
post run. You guys got the medals. Just take pictures with the medals. Keep the medal in
Um,
your pocket while you run.
I think, excuse me. I think we need to start. I think we need to probably start talking about John Cena's best matches soon. So
Okay.
keep that everyone listening, keep that in your back of your head. Meelz, you keep it in your back of your head. I think one of these episodes coming very soon, it needs to be dedicated to Cena. I think we should probably do that.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
Cena episode coming this fall. So yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week on the A Show. Peace.